Hi, my name is Tracey. Welcome to Local Matters. My hope is to bring you news about the good things that are happening in Thunder Bay. And today I have with me Nicole, who is going to teach us or inform us on aging in place, right? So Nicole, before we do that, I want to learn about you first. So what I want to know is where did you start? Are you from Thunder Bay?
Yes, I am. Okay. Yes, I'm definitely a local gal. I'm born and raised here. I went away for school and then came back just because I love the natural beauty in the area, and I'm still here.
Okay, so family here as well?
That's right. I have 2 older teens and a partner. And so they keep me busy, although I'm finding with my kids leaving the nest soon, it's time to remember what my own hobbies are again. And so I'm kind of keeping busy doing that, but the consistent activity that I love is anything outdoors. So I love that it's summer and I'm out there camping and trying to enjoy the few months of warm weather that we have.
So that brings me to something I know about you. I do a little bit of a background check. It's not really a background check. It's more like creeping on, social media. I learned that you are a nature-inspired emotional wellness coach for entrepreneurs. Can you explain that, please?
Well, those are just fancy words that mean an outdoor life coach. So I'm sure the viewers have heard of a life coach before, just working with individuals. Usually they were women with their personal wellness and then incorporating nature whenever I could. And so I think it's kind of fitting, whereas I used to help people connect to nature, now I'm helping them connect with their neighbors, which we'll talk about.
So I admitted to you just before we started taping that this is going to be educational for me too. Aging in place is something I honestly have not thought a lot about. Maybe those words are new for people, but there is a program that you are involved with or that you work at called Oasis, right? So would you mind talking about that a little bit?
Yes, happy to. And actually I was very excited to be invited to a program called Local Matters, because there's nothing more local than being healthy in your own home, trying to stay in your own personal residence for as long as possible. So as we know, sometimes as we age, there's a reason that we need to move into long-term care homes. But in fact, the majority of Canadians, like a recent survey, 90% of us would rather stay at home for our entire lifetime. And so aging in place involves sometimes you just need a little extra support so that you can stay in your home your entire life. And Oasis is a program that helps deliver that little extra support to help folks stay in their homes.
Okay, so before we expand on Oasis, you're talking about, like you said, local, right? What kind of things are available locally for people to access?
Yes, and there are so many resources. In fact, a wonderful one-stop shop to learn about those are Age-Friendly Thunder Bay's website. They have a wonderful directory, has all kinds of services that support the older adults in our community. But just broadly, things that we're looking at in my program, it's your physical health, keeping healthy with the fitness, nutrition, not being isolated from other people. You have to consider finances, transportation, sometimes adaptations in your own house so that you can stay there as you age. So there are many areas that you can address, and as we'll talk about, Oasis helps to address a few of those specifically.
Okay, I just want to back up for 1 minute. Is this what you did when you were in school? You said you went away for school.
Yeah.
So was this your focus?
No, I have my English literature degree, which I love.
So very far away from what you're doing now.
Yes, definitely. But when I came home, I was lucky enough to do an internship to train me in volunteer administration. So that's what a lot of my career has been, in community development and capacity building and working with wonderful volunteers. And so that then moved into my coaching, because what's at the core of all of the work that I've done is helping humans really to thrive.
Sure. Okay, so you did another program then? Like kind of supplemental to, obviously not to literature, but to your volunteer. Like, was there another program that you attended?
Well, it was, I got to do it while I was being paid to work. Yes, so it was training.
Nice.
training young people to be volunteer administrators. So as you know, even in my own agency, Roots, we use a lot of volunteers, and it's almost like getting an HR degree, I guess, because it's HR of volunteers rather than paid employees. And so I did that at the regional hospital, for example, victim services, Volunteer Thunder Bay, and through all of those experiences, again, I just loved working with people and empowering people. That's another common thread, and that comes up in the Oasis program, is empowering people to use the skills and tools that they have to make a difference in their own lives and in the lives of others.
Okay, so you mentioned it, that Oasis is supported by Roots. We had Erin Beagle on the last program, and Roots does a lot of things. People are always wondering, what does Roots do? And this is one that probably not a lot of people realize, is that Roots supports seniors in many ways with our free meals that we have twice a week. And Oasis is a big part of us supporting seniors as well. So if you don't mind to just give us a little start on how did Roots become involved with Oasis?
Yes, I would be glad to. Now, we owe many thanks to Nancy Angus of Age Big, and she had a small team who knew about the Oasis program and were set out to apply to see if we could get a site here in Thunder Bay. And so part of that was you needed to have a host organization who would, take care of me and host the program. And so they did approach Roots because, and I heard Erin Beagle mention it, they use food as a tool to connect people. Mm-hmm. So Oasis also uses food as a tool to connect people. And they fit under the umbrella Roots of advocacy, so seniors advocacy specifically. Mm-hmm. And so, of course, Roots said yes, and then we were granted funds for the first site, where I've been for about a year and a half. And then that worked out so well that we were invited to host a second site, and so now we have a second site in Castle Green.
And that one is fairly new,
That
right?
one's quite new, just a few months new.
Okay, so really brief history, or not a brief history, actually I want to get right into it, but where did Oasis start originally?
Yes, well, I'm glad you asked because it's quite cool. It was about 15 years ago in Kingston in an apartment building where seniors lived, and the seniors themselves decided that they needed more, fun and fitness and friendship in their life, and so they started the program there, and it continues to this day. And over time, they have involved different funders, and they have also involved Queen's University, who is really at the core of supporting the now 18 sites across Canada. So
18.
Some on the East Coast,
okay.
Some in BC, several in Ontario. And so I think it's really cool to see the different iterations in all the communities, the different kinds of communities that the program is running in. It's just nice to continue that legacy that they started.
Is Thunder Bay the only place where there's two?
There may be one or two others.
Okay.
Yes, but you're right. It's pretty cool and exciting that we have two, because a lot of our population, the demographics here, are older adults.
I cannot wait to hear more about this, but for now we're going to take a short break, and we will be right back. Hi, and welcome back to Local Matters. We are talking with Nicole about Oasis. Lots of interesting stuff here to talk about. We talked a little bit about the history and where it started. And I know that there are what are called pillars. Is that what you call them?
Yes.
Or like the mainstays of the program. So can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. The quick way of saying it is food, friendship, and fitness. So in other words, we focus on nutrition, physical movement and exercise, and socialization. Mm-hmm. And if there was a fourth pillar, which runs across all three, it's involving existing community partners and services to help with that.
Okay, can we just touch on each one of them? For food, what do you do?
Yes, so every community is going to have different food needs. So in my particular site, which is at Bayview Towers, and that's a 12-story apartment building, which again has mostly older adults, they like to learn about food. So we have had nutritionists as guest speakers, but the most the most popular thing I would say is learning how to prepare new dishes. So we do that in all kinds of ways. We'll do make and takes where I buy all the ingredients and we all make something for dinner, for example, and then they take it home. Or we also like to dine communally, so we can cook stuff together and then eat it all there together. The latest greatest hit is they just bring their lunch down and eat it together, because as you can imagine, sometimes it's lonely to eat by yourself every day. Yeah. So it's up to their imagination, whatever they want to try. I try and help them to do that, and it really is a valuable asset having roots and the kitchen knowledge there.
So I know that we've had guest chefs. I keep saying we because maybe viewers don't realize I work at Roots to Harvest or Roots Community Food Center as well. I think I mentioned that last time. We've sent guest chefs to help with classes, but I also know that you started gardens.
Yes, that was a fun new development this year. So we had some beautiful raised beds built, and we have a soup and a salad garden, we've called them, and some flowers growing too, a community herb garden so that anyone in the apartments can come down and snip some herbs for their dinner. So that's been a lot of fun because of course that addresses your physical health from the work in the garden and the socializing while you're enjoying it too.
Do you do all the programming?
I do a lot of the programming, and I love to have guests come who are experts, and I also welcome volunteers. So for example, folks who could instruct or lead an activity. I'm always looking for fun new volunteers who can help.
I've been there for that purpose. I've come to teach fitness classes, which was, I have to admit, I expected to have to really tone the fitness classes down, but the group that you had that attended the class, there were quite a few, and they kept up, no problem, vitality running throughout. I was really, I'm impressed, yes, but also really happy just to see how much energy everyone had. It wasn't what I was expecting, and I'm sure it's not, what everyone thinks of when they think of a senior. They had those weights pumping like crazy. They were amazing. So fitness is the second pillar you were talking about. Fitness is the second.
And they love their fitness. They love their guest fitness instructors. And as you're mentioning, for 50 plus audience, within that, there's so many fitness levels. And so I laugh because I find myself out there doing the easy walk, the intermediate walk, the advanced hike. I'm getting all the fitness in at all the levels, just trying to make sure there's a little something for everybody. And it's not just about the fitness classes. Like I mentioned, walks in the neighborhood. That's such a wonderful way to connect with community. Local does matter. We live right next to Lakehead University. I don't live there, but it feels like my second home. Yeah. And so when we walk on campus, it's just so healthy for the tenants to chat with the students and have that intergenerational conversation.
There's something I didn't realize that would happen.
Yeah, definitely.
They're walking through, they're going to start chatting with people about what they're doing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And, I almost find there's even more value in those seemingly inconsequential moments that happen because of the programmed activities.
Right. Mm-hmm. So then we come to the community part of it.
Yes.
So what do you do? It sounds like everything you're doing, the food, the fitness, the walking, everything is including community, but specifically, do you do anything?
Well, some specific examples would be, we always have monthly guest speakers. So I ask the tenants what they might want to learn about, which is a key point I haven't mentioned yet, is this is all tenant-led. So they tell me what they need and I help to deliver it, which I just love. That's the point about empowering folks to ask for what they need and then to make it happen. So I will therefore, for example, invite guest speakers from all kinds of community organizations, the 55 Plus Center, Nishnawbe, Mushkiki, whatever topic it is they want to learn about, we'll have a guest speaker. We've also had fireside chats, which are kind of more casual, interesting people in Thunder Bay who have amazing stories to share. So that's a fun way to involve partners. I like to go out and participate in other organizations' activities. So we did Eco Superiors Spring Up to Cleanup in the yard, or we've been out pole walking with Anishinaabe Mushkiki. We enjoyed the whole winter walking at the hangar, which I know was a 55 Plus Center and the Hearing Center initiative in the dome there, just to get those steps in. Right. And so that's, anytime I can, I'm thinking about agencies that we can work with.
It's amazing. Like I'm exhausted when I read your newsletters every week. I had to sneak this and I had to write it down. This was your newsletter that I read today. The first one was you do birthday celebrations, where I think you do like everybody's birthday for the month.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
And then this is just this week, making preserves. And then you had Appy Hour, potluck picnic, and you're going on holidays. And again, the tenants are doing their own tenant-led activities. So there's something pretty much almost every day,
Yes.
or sometimes twice, 2 events in a day,
Yeah.
right? So like, what are you doing at these things? I like the Appy Hour. I love it.
I know. That's appetizers. Who doesn't love appetizers? And I laughed when I wrote that particular email. Like, it's not often that everything we're doing all week long is food. Yeah, so those are all kinds of fun examples, and I do help coordinate it. That's another piece of Oasis, is they have me as a coordinator to help facilitate.
That's your position? You are the coordinator. They come to you
help coordinate.
Because somebody has to sort the ideas, which they have a lot.
Exactly, and in fact, a lot of them have done these things before, but as you age, it can be tiring. You can't do everything that you used to do. So that's where I come in. But this is a good opportunity to talk to the viewers about, yes, this is what we're doing, but I want to invite the viewers to think about how they could do this in their own community.
Because Oasis is really just about for the people in the building.
That's right.
And then at Castle Green, it would be just for the people that live at Castle Green, which comes with its own challenges because it's not one building where you just take an elevator.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. And like, we have to start somewhere. So the hope is that this will grow. And but in the meantime, I'm always happy to answer the phone and help people figure out how they can build this in their own apartment building, for example. And some of these activities that you listed, it's the simplest things, like the birthday coffee. Like, a person could organize that in your very own neighborhood or apartment building, just having a coffee social. And, that goes so far in terms of getting to know your neighbors, because local does matter. And, having a little nutritious muffin while you're meeting, for instance.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be something elaborate. Like you said, it could be just a coffee, just come down for some lemonade. But I know in your case, you'd probably be making that lemonade from scratch and then drinking it, right?
Not every day, sometimes, but I can't do all the things. It is part-time.
Okay, we want to talk more about how people can get involved in a different way if they don't live in these places. And we will be right back. Welcome back to Local Matters. Nicole, you've already shared so much information. There's one thing I'm going to say is it's very clear to me that you have a passion for this. It's all very important to you. And I know, because I know you a little, that it's not just the Oasis program that's important to you, but of course the entire community. You did sort of touch on you are willing to support others, like if someone wanted to start an Oasis type activity in their building. Mm-hmm. So how would we do that if we were going to contact you?
Yeah, well, the next best thing to getting funds for your own building is starting by calling me. So I do have a work phone number I can share right now. If you'd like me to say, 807-707-50. Now, I might forget it. I might have to put it up at the end.
Okay, that's
Sorry,
okay.
because I don't call myself
Yeah,
very
I know,
often.
we never do.
Anyway, you can reach me there, and I'm happy to give you all kinds of startup tips to help you get something that's minimal cost going, that doesn't require a coordinator in your own building. And then right now we could just chat about things that are already happening in the community that you might want to tap into so that you can be as healthy as possible.
I love this. I know keeping your body moving is one of the most important things. I'm in my mid-50s and I know that, things start to break down. Socializing is also very important to me. When I don't keep my body moving, I really feel it. So
yes,
those kinds of things.
And that really speaks to why I'm so passionate about it. These are my peers, and this is how I would want to live. So I'm happy to deliver it, definitely. So in the community, I know you've already shared with your viewers, for example, some things offered at Roots, like the seniors and elders meals. That's a great way to get affordable, nutritious meals.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. I want you to continue with that because people may have heard it on the first program, but maybe not. So you could also talk about that.
Yeah, so it's 2 times a week. It's the Wednesday supper and the Friday lunch, and it's a cost-free meal. You can come, you can have gourmet meals that are nutritious. And while you're there, the community food market is open. That's open to all ages in the community. It's a great place to buy your fresh produce at very affordable prices and smaller portion sizes, which can be important to older adults. So those are just 2 examples right in-house of how you can get connected. And the irony about the phrase aging at home is really it's about aging in community. Like it's going to work so much better if you are connected in the community. So beside Roots, there's so many wonderful community organizations offering services in Thunder Bay that can support you. So maybe you want to get out and volunteer at one of the many local organizations to get that socializing and that sense of purpose in. 55 Plus Center, I'm sure we're all aware of, offers so many opportunities for nutrition and fitness and socializing. That's another great spot. So I just encourage you to, maybe think about your passions and your interests. Maybe you have a buddy who would be willing to go out in the community and do something with you, just to think about how could I be a little bit more social or get a little more movement in my day or a little bit better nutrition happening. And those will all help you to age well in the long run.
So what I love about the meals at Roots is the fact that, we'll take Friday as an example. There was one of the regular diners was playing piano.
Yes.
Very, very lively piano. There's always a foot nurse there taking care of people.
Yes.
And there's all kinds of different people that set up booths there. But the other thing is, these are not simple run-of-the-day meals that they're getting. Nutrition is always a consideration, but our chef, her name is Murph, she creates these incredibly elaborate meals, and I think, honestly, it's a culinary adventure for a lot of seniors. And the thing that I love about it is that most seniors, I think, I'm going to be honest, I had the expectation they might not love some of these culinary adventures. Every time, it's a win. It's like a tour around the world sometimes, some of the meals that we get.
Absolutely. And I actually have a van and I take the tenants from my building to the meals. So that's fun. But thanks for reminding me about the displays as well, because that's an example of how I use my knowledge and connections from Oasis to share it with the broader community. And similarly, we'll have more and more workshops and whatnot, maybe after Friday meals in the fall, just to spread the knowledge and to offer to the general public what we know is really working at our Oasis site, so that more and more of our local seniors can access these healthy supports.
So there is a possibility that you'll be taking some of these incredible ideas that I know you have and bringing them to Roots so that the general population can attend as well?
Yes, and we already try, but yeah, as much as possible, because we want to share the love.
Yeah. So what about the cost? Of all of this?
Yes, of course there's a cost to run the programming, but fortunately we won the application to receive the funding through, it's actually various donors, and that comes through Queen's University. However, of course, for ongoing programming, we do need to seek funds, and so that would be Roots Community Food Center, who is always looking for funds and donations to pay for programs such as this.
I think that there's sometimes a misconception when it comes to places that are not-for-profit that, they have lots already, but it's ongoing. Programs are ongoing. Programs need to be paid for constantly. So it is very fortunate that you have the support of Roots or other partners that can help with the cost. But do the tenants themselves ever pay a nominal fee?
Well, they haven't. Sometimes they have, just to help supplement costs. But the budget, I'm pretty good with the budget, so we make it last, I guess. We spread it out, yes. However, at Roots, for example, they've only recently gotten into seniors programming since 2023, and basically Oasis and the meals started at the same time.
You just taught me something I didn't know, that it was just in 2023.
Yes. I mean, of course, I'm sure they always supported seniors, but with specific programming for seniors.
So you mentioned something earlier as well, in that seniors can volunteer for seniors, right?
Yes.
Like we have a lot of that. Like some of our diners are they help to serve at our meals as well. So do you have, or any of your sorry, they're not your seniors, any of the people that you're helping to coordinate with, are they out in the community as well?
Some of them would be, yes.
Is that something that you would help them
Well, I
find?
would help them if, yes, definitely help them get connected. And I'm also open to a bunch of us going and volunteering elsewhere.
I love it.
But it works both ways. Like I said, some of our volunteers are seniors. And so they come and they share their talents and skills with us.
Okay, we did a lot of talking about the funding and the cost and all that. I know there is a very exciting fundraiser coming up, supported by Roots to Harvest, but the money is going towards senior meals and towards the Oasis programs already in place in Thunder Bay.
Yes.
So the Grand Parade, from what I understand, is national.
It is.
There's 30 plus other cities that are going to be doing it on the same day.
On the same day, same time, which is September 21st. It's a Saturday, so save the date, in the morning. And essentially, it's a beautiful walk. We hope it will be down at the marina, so a nice, easy path there. Folks have a choice of the 2.5-kilometer route or the 5-kilometer route. And it's simply celebrating seniors. So yes, the funds will go to support the seniors programming at Roots. But if you're a senior, if you love a senior, you know, we're encouraging folks to put together a small team and folks raise funds, and that will all go towards seniors programming.
That is going to be fantastic, and hopefully you get lots of support. Sign up, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.